WWE Elimination Chamber is in the books as we are now on the fast lane to WrestleMania, with Fastlane fast approaching Sunday, March the 10th, 2019. Thank you guys for tuning in and listening. Like, follow, and subscribe to Gridiron Ring and myself, GoHandLuke96, on social media. The links are in the description below. So today I'm just going to recap Elimination Chamber a little bit, just give you my thoughts and opinions on what I thought of the pay-per-view. Anybody who tuned in and watched my live reactions on Sunday for the pay-per-view, thank you. Always greatly appreciated. The next time we'll be live right here on YouTube for live reactions, play-by-play of a WWE pay-per-view will be for Fastlane. As I said, WWE Fastlane, Quicken Loans Arena in Cleveland, Ohio, Sunday, March the 10th. But last night at Elimination Chamber down in Houston, Texas at the Toyota Center, I only had one match on the pre-show. It was the Cruiserweight Championship once again. Buddy Murphy defended versus Akira Tozawa, and he retained. I picked that correctly, so I was happy about that. I really don't see anybody else other than Murphy winning the Cruiserweight Championship anytime soon, so whether they have him defend it tonight, tomorrow, sometime later in the week, at Fastlane, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, I think Buddy Murphy, whenever the hell it's going to be, I don't think Buddy Murphy will be losing the Cruiserweight Championship anytime soon. So he's still the Cruiserweight Champion after the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view on Sunday night. The first match, though, on the main card was the first ever Women's Tag Team Championship match for the new Women's Tag Team Championships. And I guess there was some rumors going around saying that this match was supposed to be the main event, and that the women got a little upset that they got moved to the opening match of the night. So, I mean, it is what it is. At least you're on the card. You know, that's how I look at it. But Bayley and Sasha Banks, the Boston Hug connection of them, they won. They defeated Nia Jax and Tamina, the Riot Squad, Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan, Fire and Desire of Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, who they ended up pinning, and then the Iconics, Peyton Royce and Billie Kay, along with Naomi and Carmella. Shout out to Corey Graves. Give him a round of applause. And by the way, he didn't cheat on his wife. They were reportedly, or have been reportedly, not been together for the past couple months, and they are working on a divorce. So Corey Graves technically didn't cheat on his wife. He just started a brand new relationship, and he decided to hook up with Carmella. So good for him. But Boston Hug connection of Bayley and Sasha Banks, they won the first ever Women's Tag Team Championships at Elimination Chamber. Now, it will be interesting to see what WWE has planned for the Women's Tag Team Championships. Bayley and Sasha being on Raw, are they just going to keep those on Monday Night Raw for the foreseeable future, or are they going to have them go to SmackDown Live as well? Because there's women on both brands. There's women superstars, women wrestlers on both Raw and SmackDown. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with that, and then moving forward to Fastlane, as we are on the road to WrestleMania, Fastlane, the next pay-per-view, and then WrestleMania. I assume they'll have a big match for the Women's Tag Team Championships at Mania in East Rutherford, New Jersey, Sunday, April the 7th. Maybe Bayley and Sasha versus Trish and Lita, maybe versus the Bella Twins. We'll have to find out and see. I'm thinking it's going to be Trish and Lita, because like I said there a moment ago, at least this match was on the card. They really promoted it heavily after the Royal Rumble, because the Rumble is the Rumble. You know, you have the two Rumble matches now, but then Elimination Chamber and now Fastlane. It used to be No Way Out. That's where the Elimination Chamber match was always at, and then they just decided to make it its own pay-per-view. But you go back to Evolution at the end of October, the first all-women's pay-per-view in the WWE. A great pay-per-view. Go check it out on the network if you haven't done so already. It's only $9.99 a month. I would highly suggest subscribing. Also, be sure to subscribe to Gridiron Ring right here on YouTube. But, I mean, like I said, they promoted it heavily following the Rumble. But ever since the Divas Revolution, the women's evolution, as you will, started back in 2014. I think up to this point they've done a whole lot. They've done enough up to this point. So at least the match was on the card. It kicked off the show. It basically stole the show up until the main event when Kofi Kingston basically stole the past week in the WWE, that gauntlet match on SmackDown, and then the way he performed at Elimination Chamber on Sunday. So at least it was on the card. I know, like I said, they were a little bit pissed off that it got moved up and whatnot, but you go back to Evolution now. You had the Bella Twins there. You had Trish and Lita there as well. They're former tag team champions. You got the first ever women's tag team championships now. They will be defended at upcoming events in the WWE. So it'll just be interesting to see. I think they'll move forward in the direction of having Bayley and Sasha versus Trish and Lita. Maybe get Beth Phoenix involved as well. I mean, hell, she was on commentary last night a little bit for that match. But Bayley, she's a big fan of Trish and Lita. Same thing with Sasha. It just makes perfect sense if you ask me. But, it's always hard to tell what WWE is going to do because they always like to throw some tricks our way. So it'll be interesting to see what they do on Raw and then SmackDown this week as well, as this is being recorded before Raw and SmackDown this week. Monday, February the 18th, and Tuesday, February the 19th, 2019. Also, be sure to go check out my Raw and SmackDown recap that I'll have out, recapping Raw and SmackDown from this week. So then the next match at Elimination Chamber was the SmackDown Live Tag Team Championship match. Co-besties, the best tag team in the world, The Miz and Shane McMahon. They defended versus the Usos, who ended up standing tall on SmackDown Live this past week, and then Jimmy Uso got arrested, and I broke that news during my Elimination Chamber predictions. Go check that out if you wish. But anyways, moving on, I was surprised to some extent that the Usos did end up winning. So the Usos, they won the SmackDown Live Tag Team Championships once again. Now 4-time SmackDown Live Tag Team Champions, 6-time WWE Tag Team Champions. So they're moving up there in the ranks of some of the best tag teams the World Wrestling Federation and now entertainment industry has ever seen. So, like I said, during that prediction video, go check it out if you wish. But basically, you don't need to now because I'm telling you everything that happened at Elimination Chamber. But go check it out, share it, keep an eye out for my Fastlane predictions coming up here in the next couple weeks as well. But the Usos won, and like I said, I was somewhat surprised because normally when you stand tall at a pay-per-view or on a go-home show for the pay-per-view, you end up losing at the pay-per-view a couple days later. I don't care who you are, okay? But this one, and then Finn Balor, he also stood tall. They both won, so that basically doesn't make any sense anymore. It doesn't matter because that's saying, okay, we can stand tall and still win. You just move on, and really whoever they want to have win, they're going to have win. And that's how it is in the end anyway. But and then Jimmy Uso got arrested, okay? And then normally when you get arrested or get in trouble, whatever the case may be, you normally get buried, okay? Now, the Usos are a great tag team. I said it during the live reactions, if you tuned in and watched. Hopefully you did. If not, I'll be live right here on YouTube for Fastlane, so hopefully I see everybody then. If you have chat questions or comments, drop those in the chat when you're watching. If you have comments about this video, drop those in the comments below. Like, follow, and subscribe on social media. The links are in the description. But, like I was saying, normally when you get in trouble, you get buried. But then I did say sometimes we have seen you get in trouble and then they push you right back to the top. Because Usos, yeah, they are a great tag team. They cut damn good promos. They have great matches in and week out. So, I mean, like I said, I'm shocked to some extent. I mean, I'm happy that the Usos are tag team champions once again. They'll probably move on and face the Bar. Maybe you have the Good Brothers, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, face off against them. I'm trying to think who else tag team-wise is on SmackDown. Not really anybody. I mean, Sanity's there. Hell, they haven't been seen. They've been on TV since like last summer, for God's sakes. Put Sanity in it. I would love that. Eric Young, Alexander Wolf, Killian Dane. Hell, Nikki Cross is on Monday Night Raw now. Well, technically she can still be on SmackDown as well because she's one of those NXT call-ups. And actually, last night at Elimination Chamber, Lacey Evans just came out of nowhere and walked down the ramp and then walked back. So at least she's trying to make a name for herself. So that happened as well last night. A little weird, but oh well, we'll move on. Because then The Miz and Shane, once the Usos left, The Miz and Shane were still out ringside area, and it looked like Miz was going to turn on him, turn heel. But before this, actually, before I forget, Miz came out first, awesome, and then he introduced his wife, Maurice, and said normally whenever we have a big announcement, we would always like to make it in the WWE. So Miz and Mrs. is coming back. I knew that already, end of April, so they'll have some new episodes coming out right after WrestleMania, NFL Draft Weekend, I assume. Right before WWE goes back to Saudi Arabia as well. That'll be the first Friday in May, I believe. And hopefully it's later on in the afternoon rather than 12 noon Eastern time, but we'll have to find out and see about that. But Miz came out with his wife Maurice and said they are expecting baby number 2. So that's that. But then, like I said, after the match, they're sitting there ringside. I know I'm going on and on about this, but trying to get my point across. And they ended up walking up the ramp. Like I said, it looked like he was going to turn on him. Did not. They cut, and then they went to the next match. And then they come back later on in the show. Shane, who had went through the announce table, is getting attended to by medical staff backstage, and then The Miz absolutely is going nuts, pissed off that they lost. Shane says it's all right, we'll move on, and then he tells Miz to go home. He'll see him on SmackDown on Tuesday. SmackDown on Tuesday is actually in New Orleans. Monday Night Raw is in Lafayette, Louisiana. Now, next week, Monday Night Raw in Atlanta, they'll have Ric Flair's 70th birthday celebration. And then next Tuesday, SmackDown will be in Charlotte, Philly the following Monday, and then I will be at that SmackDown in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania on Tuesday, March the 5th. So I'll have some new content out from going to WWE events here within the next couple weeks, because about a week later I'll be going to that Monday Night Raw as well, also on my birthday. So if you want to sing happy birthday to me right now, that'd be fine, I guess. Monday Night Raw in Pittsburgh on Monday, March the 11th, so I will be there as well. So yeah, I'll have a lot of new content, probably entrance-wise, because the matches are on TV. I mean, I've I've taped full matches from live events that I've attended in the past couple years as well, but those are unseen matches. Only the people that are in attendance get to see those. So that's why I take that and then upload them, for other people to view. But since Raw and SmackDown, they're on TV, you can watch it on TV. I highly doubt I'll do any full matches. I might, maybe some promos, segments, I don't know. We'll have to find out and see. I got a couple weeks to decide on that. But so I will be at the SmackDown and then Raw early March. So keep an eye out for new videos, Fastlane predictions as well in the next couple weeks, along with Raw and SmackDown recaps week in and week out now. So yeah, so far Buddy Murphy won. He retained over Akira Tozawa for the Cruiserweight Championship. Bayley and Sasha Banks, first ever women's tag team champions. And then the Usos, they won the SmackDown Live Tag Team Championships once again over co-besties The Miz and Shane McMahon. Next was the 2-on-1 handicap match for the Intercontinental Championship. Bobby Lashley, the Intercontinental Champion, was with the man of the hour himself, Lio Rush. They faced off versus Finn Balor, and I somewhat spoiled this a little bit ago. I said Balor won. He did, even though he stood tall on Monday Night Raw last week, so I was shocked, but congrats to Finn Balor. It's about damn time that he has a championship around his waist. In the WWE, up on the main roster, was a former NXT champion. He was the first ever Universal champion as well, but then he got injured, had to give that up. He had since got some rematches for the Universal title, most recently at Royal Rumble against Brock Lesnar, but he lost. That was a damn good match. Go check it out. Better than everybody was expecting, but We move on. Elimination Chamber last night down in Houston, and Finn Balor wins the Intercontinental Championship. They might have him face off versus Bobby Lashley again. Lashley somewhat turned heel on Lio Rush, took him out. So I don't know if there'll be a duo moving forward on Monday Night Raw. We'll have to find out and see, because later on in the night then, during the no disqualification match between Braun Strowman and Baron Corbin, Corbin got some help from Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley. They power bombed Strowman through 2 tables on top of each other from the steel steps that they had set up in the ring as well, because it was a no disqualification match. It just made sense. And then Corbin pinned Strowman. So it looks like moving forward that Corbin, McIntyre, and Lashley are going to be your heel stable on Monday Night Raw. Now, Finn Balor, Intercontinental Champion, maybe have him go up against Elias. I think that would be a good feud. They have tangled a little bit before in the past, if I can remember correctly. Maybe Apollo Crews as well. They've somewhat been giving him a push on Monday Night Raw. Jinder Mahal, maybe Dean Ambrose another time around. Because who knows if he's going to be leaving or not. Maybe this doesn't work. I don't know. Maybe EC3. If they do let Ambrose go, it looks like Ambrose is going to be putting over EC3. Maybe EC3 goes up against Finn Balor, even though I think EC3 sucks and should go back to TNA. Maybe have McIntyre, Lio Rush. I wouldn't mind that. Lio Rush is awesome. Keep him on Monday Night Raw. Put him on SmackDown. I know he's on 205 Live all the time, but keep him on WWE television. 205 Live is on the network. So technically still WWE TV, but not everybody has the network. A lot of people, more people have regular cable than the WWE network and watch Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live week in and week out like myself. So it'll be interesting to see. We got the Superstar Shakeup, as I said last week as well, coming about a week after WrestleMania. So maybe you have some guys from the SmackDown side go to Monday Night Raw, challenge Balor for the IC title if he's still champ at that point in time. I think he will be. I had said last week, I believe, I had thought at WrestleMania that's when he would win the Intercontinental Championship. So I was, like I said, somewhat shocked last night that he did win, but it's about damn time that he did win at least another championship. Maybe Samoa Joe. Maybe you bring back Kevin Owens to face off versus Finn Balor once again, though, for the IC title. Maybe Sami Zayn, because Kevin Owens said last week on Monday Night Raw, I bet they'll probably have another promo for him either tonight or next week, because he said last week when he was bowling with his family that he would be back in about a month's time. So maybe Kevin Owens, Finn Balor. I wouldn't mind that. They fought for the NXT Championship a couple times down in NXT a couple years ago, so that'd be a damn good feud. That'd be a damn good match at WrestleMania. They'd probably steal the damn show. Finn Balor versus Kevin Owens for the Intercontinental Championship. I bet you any money that's what they end up doing. I bet you any money Kevin Owens is going to come back and challenge Balor, even though Owens is looking like he's going to be a face. Maybe that's just for right now, though. Maybe he'll turn heel like one night after he's back, or maybe they have Balor turn heel, something we have not really seen after he got called up, or really ever since he's been in the WWE. I know he has the demon persona and whatnot, but he's never really truly been considered a heel. He's always been a face. So we'll have to see what they do with that moving forward. But it was a damn good match, I thought, last night at Elimination Chamber between Bobby Lashley and Finn Balor. Like I said, maybe they have Balor, Lashley again at Fastlane, and then Owens comes out. I think Owens is either going to be returning at Fastlane or the Raw or SmackDown after, because it's still yet to be seen whether he's going to be on Raw or SmackDown when he comes back. So a lot of ifs, ands, and buts right now, but we'll have to see what they do moving forward. Let me know down in the comments below what you guys have thought of Elimination Chamber so far. So then the next match was the Raw Women's Championship match. Ronda Rousey defending versus the leader of the Riot Squad, Ruby Riot. Ronda ended up winning. It was a very quick match, squash match. Charlotte came out first, so she was ringside. Okay, she was sitting right in front of the announce tables. She got involved after the match was final, but then here comes Becky Lynch after a face-to-face with Ronda and Charlotte. Becky Lynch comes out on crutches because the night before at a live event, also in the state of Louisiana, down in the bayou, Charlotte attacked Becky and kayfabe, storyline-wise, injured her knee a little bit more. Whether she's actually injured or not, I believe she is, but it's just the perfect way to make sure that both her, Becky Lynch, and Seth Rollins with his match at WrestleMania, making sure that they're both healthy for Mania. It just makes sense. It's perfect. It's fine. I'm fine with it. Because I'd rather have them have the match at Mania rather than being on the road to WrestleMania and having matches on Raw and SmackDown and get hurt a week before Mania and then you can't go. What the hell are you going to do at that point then? Okay, it just makes sense. Business is business. WWE always does. At least they try to do what's best for business. So Becky makes her way through the crowd even though she's suspended for 60 days. She makes her way through the crowd on crutches, gets in the ring, and then starts beating the living hell out of both Charlotte Flair and Ronda Rousey with her crutches. She ends up leaving, gets escorted out of the arena by security, and it goes back to when Stone Cold Steve Austin, the Rattlesnake himself, got arrested on Monday Night Raw. So, comparing the two, I mean, Stone Cold's still up there, but Becky Lynch, yeah, she is the man. She's obviously clearly over with Vince and everybody else backstage in the WWE. She's clearly going to win the Raw Women's title at WrestleMania, even though right now, after last week on Raw, if you didn't know what happened, go check it out in my Raw and SmackDown recap. Becky got suspended. Vince put in Charlotte to face Ronda at Mania. Just perfect segue to make sure that Becky's healthy. They'll put Becky in it. It'll be a triple threat at WrestleMania between Ronda, Charlotte, and Becky will win and stand tall. Mark my words on that. So the co-main event of the evening was that no disqualification match that I spoke about a moment ago between Braun Strowman and Baron Corbin. And as I said, Corbin, McIntyre, and Lashley, they Shield powerbombed Strowman through two tables on top of each other in the ring. Corbin 1-2-3 on the pin on Strowman. So that's basically all that happened. I mean, not really anything else. I mean, Strowman was in control up until the point McIntyre came out. McIntyre attacked him. Lashley came out, attacked him. No disqualification match. Kendo sticks, steel chairs, tables, so on and so forth, all being used in this match. So after Corbin got some help, basically they just attacked Strowman until Corbin won, and then the match was over. So the main event then of the evening was the men's Elimination Chamber match for the WWE Championship. The new Daniel Bryan with his new eco-friendly WWE Championship. The Planet's champion Daniel Bryan defended versus Kofi Kingston, who has absolutely stole the show in the WWE the past week, as I said earlier. Lasted about an hour, a little over an hour in the Gauntlet match last week on SmackDown, and then he absolutely stole the show last night at Elimination Chamber. I thought a lot of people were thinking he was going to win. I knew he wasn't. I knew Daniel Bryan was going to retain. It just makes sense. Daniel Bryan's going to probably face Samoa Joe or AJ Styles or Randy Orton at Fastlane, and then one of those three at WrestleMania now. Because somewhat get a clear picture on what they're going to do moving forward after last night. Because last week in my predictions, I said I really didn't know what to think. I didn't know what they were going to do moving forward. It's still hard to tell. I mean, they could throw us a curveball. We'll have to find out and see on SmackDown tomorrow. But Daniel Bryan versus Kofi Kingston, the charismatic enigma Jeff Hardy, the Viper Randy Orton, the Samoan submission machine Samoa Joe versus the phenomenal AJ Styles. So that was for the WWE Championship, and both Elimination Chamber matches were good, I thought. I mean, the whole pay-per-view, in my opinion, I would say at least a 7 to 10. I think a lot of people are thinking right now, I mean, everybody has their own opinions, I get that, but I think everybody's thinking that Elimination Chamber sucked last night. I thought it was a damn good pay-per-view. I truly did. I enjoyed it last night. I enjoyed watching. I mean, the pay-per-views that have matches that are named after, the pay-per-views that have, how do I want to word this? The pay-per-views that have matches that are named after the matches. Is that how I want to word that? Yeah, we'll go with that. Whether it's right or not, I could really care less, to be honest with you. They're always fun to watch. I said this last night. you have the Royal Rumble. You have Elimination Chamber now. It used to be No Way Out, as I said, but then they made it its own pay-per-view. So Elimination Chamber. You have WrestleMania. WrestleMania is WrestleMania. It's the biggest show on the schedule for the WWE. Money in the Bank. You got Survivor Series, TLC, Extreme Rules. So, Hell in a Cell as well. WWE's had a shit ton of old pay-per-views that they have been bringing back the past couple years as well. But they've had a shit ton of pay-per-views that, bear the name of the matches that are going to be happening last night. One of them, Elimination Chamber. And what happens, if you didn't know, 2 superstars start the match, 2 tag teams start the match, the tag team match, and then the other 4 tag teams or other 4 superstars. There's normally 6 or 7 superstars or tag teams in the match. First ever tag team match, though. Well, actually, no. First ever women's tag team match inside the Elimination Chamber last night. They've had tag team championship matches inside the Elimination Chamber before, but so I just want to clarify on that. But 2 people start, and then the other 4 or 5, depending on how many is in the match, they are in pods in the corner, and then every couple minutes they enter, and you just battle it out. You keep fighting until somebody wins. And Randy Orton, since he won the gauntlet match last week, he got to enter last, so he came in. He ended up getting pinned by Kofi Kingston, though. Very shocking, but Kofi had a lot of momentum. Crowd was going crazy for him. Like I said, he absolutely stole the show. He blew the roof off the fucking joint. So Daniel Bryan, he ended up retaining. Long story short, Jeff Hardy really didn't do anything. Samoa Joe really didn't do anything either. Daniel Bryan started off versus Samoa Joe, and then Kofi got involved, Jeff got involved, and then AJ and Orton also got involved as well. But it was a good match. It was. I thought it was. I mean, the whole event, and week in and week out on these shows, there's always botches. There's a couple last night. Keep an eye out for those on Botchamania. But Daniel Bryan, he's still your WWE champion. I really don't know what to say about it. And like I said, we'll have to see what they do moving forward on SmackDown Live with that championship. So Elimination Chamber is in the books. We are on the fast lane to WrestleMania now. Fast lane Sunday, March the 10th. Thank you guys for listening. Like, follow, and subscribe on social media. The links are in the description below. Let me know what you guys thought of Elimination Chamber down in the comments.